Come on, goody girl. Let's give them some organic good food. Change your food, change your life. Change is good, good is right. We're taking it to a whole nother level. Organic food is the cure to love and life. Yeah. We take good living to a whole nother level. Come on and go with me. Change your food, change your life. Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna ride on the big side? To a whole nother level. We're taking it higher and higher and higher and higher. That's for sure. We take good living to a whole nother level. Change your food, change your life. Change is good, good is right. We take good living to a whole nother level. Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're listening to the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World. I'm Dennis Weaver, your good food guide and founder of Change Your Food, Change Your Life, a fun, high-energy, good health edutainment company with song, story, and entertaining guests designed to inform, encourage, coach, and inspire you to make 100% organic good food choices, foods that are life-giving, not life-diminishing. Remember, eating good equals feeling good. That's the equation for the good life. That fun opening cut of Good Living you just heard is from our Change Your Food, Change Your Life presents Good Living, a compilation CD album, and its title track is performed by Anna Maria Paisley. It is the worldwide organic good food anthem with officially registered fans from Tanzania to Tacoma, anthems to Atlanta, Casablanca to Cincinnati. So the next time you hear it playing, stand. Our producer, D-Money, always does right here in the studio. You can catch D-Money on his own show, Fresh Juice, on Wednesday nights, full of cool entertainers. You can get yourself the Good Living CD at changeyourfoodchangeyourlife.com, changeyourfoodchangeyourlife.com. On the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show, we've had guests from all around the United States, Canada, and Mexico who talk, write, grow, mine, farm, police, buy, prepare, serve, make, teach, design, package, and sing about organic good food. They create organic cosmetics, advocate and lobby for organic good food. They read to children about organic good food. They talk about the good health of organic good food. They use organic good food as therapy. They juice organic good food fruit. They grow organic cotton t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now. They help with gluten-free choices, offer zero-waste package-free shopping. They lift spirits with organic floral essences and handcraft an organic sofa so soft you'll go, Uncle Matt himself of Uncle Matt's Organic Juices, the Mistress of Mushrooms, the Queen of Dairyland, the Cactus Tamer, Ms. Healthy Way, the Salt Miner, the Hempster, the Professor of Pickling, the Upcycler, Ms. Bear Life, and Sweet Bako Sweet, to name just a few of the previous guests on the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show, all working hard to make that healthful difference in your life. I've told you the story of Mary and Tina when a bean is not a bean, and I proved it costs less to live the organic good food life than not. And if that's not enough for you, we've had the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show musical. You're listening to Dennis Weaver, good food guide and host of the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World. On a food entrepreneur experience webinar, I caught a video featuring a new organic good food and its inventor. She had the right attitude, was fun, entertaining, full of enthusiasm and pride of success. It was the story by a young lady, an entrepreneur, of why and how she created a brand new food, cashew fruit turned into a nutritious, sustainable, meatless staple. You say she created what? You may know cashew nuts, but you don't know cashew fruit. So now, on the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show, to explain it all and to make you hungry for a taco, a burger, a poor boy, a mock tuna sandwich, lasagna, a salad, or about anything else made with her Cashew love because of its versatility, calling it along the beach in Waialua, Hawaii, under the shade of a cashew tree, the one who brings you organic good food Cashew love, here's Alana Lima.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here, Dennis. Hi, everybody.
Aloha. Well, welcome, Alana, and Cashew love to the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. The Change Your Food, Change Your Life show brings you only the best ofs for your good health and happiness. Curated, reviewed, and now add Cashew love. The Change Your Food, Change Your Life show presents organic good food stars to its audience. And in this case, our star, Alana Lima, her company, Cashew Love, is the first company in the whole wide world to upcycle cashew fruit, turning it into a nutritious, sustainable, meatless staple for our good health and happiness. So who are you, Alana Lima?
Thank you so much, Dennis. Yeah, so I mean, aside from being the founder of CAJÚ, a little background on myself. I'm originally from Brazil, so I'm Brazilian. I moved to the US when I was 8 years old, and now I'm 26 years old. I live in Hawaii. I moved here about 7 years ago, and I'm not complaining. It's Hawaii's pretty good, but anyways, I'm really passionate about food, all the way from cooking through like making a difference in the food industry. I've worked in the food space since I was 18, more specifically in the consumer packaged goods industry, and I feel like it's one of the most intimate industries, because it's really all about like sharing with people something that they end up consuming and putting into their body, and that directly impacts like how they live their life, their quality of life. So I feel like there's a lot of impact that can be made through the food space, and that's definitely something that I'm really, really passionate about. But aside from that, I guess in kind of correlation, I also love animals. So it kind of ties into, I guess, why I started CAJÚ with the meatless alternative. I volunteered here in Hawaii in like an animal sanctuary for a few years, and it really drew in that connection. But yeah, I feel like those are a few pointers about me.
Well, thanks for the introduction. You say you live, love, benefit from a plant-based lifestyle. Why? How?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I was exposed to a lot of documentaries about health, about our planet, and also about the meat and dairy industry. And to name a few, like What the Health and Cowspiracy. And ever since then, it made me realize the disconnect that most of us have from the food system. Unless, you're living in a farm or a rural area and you're really present with like how food is grown. The reality for a lot of us living in cities is that we just go to the store and we buy something off the shelf, and we, or for me at least, like I didn't really think too much about like where this was coming from, who was touching this, how it was grown, et cetera, et cetera. And so after watching some of these documentaries, I became a little bit more aware, and I started to become more mindful. And since then, like I started to actually reflect on like what type of foods and what type of lifestyle resonated with me more and aligned more with my values, and the plant-based lifestyle is it. And honestly, it's as simple as just I feel good living this lifestyle.
I'm glad you watched those documentaries. love your CAJÚ love line. Quote, "We value healthy foods that help us feel good to do the things we love most in life." What brought you to that?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I think one of the most, and I think we can, agree, like one of the most valuable things we have in our life is our health and well-being. And I know you say this all the time, right? Like you eat good food, you feel good. And it really is that direct correlation. I mean, I feel like all of us, we want to live a life, where it's a high quality of life, where we can enjoy and do the things we love with the people we love. And ultimately that comes down to how we feel, and how we feel comes down to what we put in our body, what we put in our mind. And really like it comes down to food. And so I think the connection there is like the food is almost like our fuel, and whatever we're putting in, it's directly reflecting on our experience like here in this world. And so I think the mission for CAJÚ in creating something that's clean, that's going to make you feel good, is to help empower people to live their best life and to enjoy what they want to enjoy in this life.
I thank you for wanting to put a smile on my face. Since this is radio and we can't see a cashew fruit, can you put together a word description of it?
Yeah, okay, so I'll do my best. So I think
hope
most
so.
people most people are familiar with the cashew nut, right? It's like this little C-shaped nut. So imagine that with like a hard black looking shell going around it, and then attached to the shell with the nut inside is almost like a red apple. I would say it's a little bit skinnier than an apple, but that's basically what it looks like. It's like a cashew nut with an apple-sized fruit that grows attached to it. And I guess that would be the best visual.
You're listening to Alana Lima and her story of a new food invention for your good health and happiness, organic CAJÚ love. This is the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. You had seen cashew fruit in Brazil. And then, Alana, you looked out your window in Hawaii and saw a cashew tree. Did you say to yourself, I bet I can make something of that? But did you know you could?
No, and you know what? Speaking for the fruit, I think it was right place, right time. Because I didn't, and it was a matter of like I ended up picking a bunch of cashew fruits because it was the first time I had seen it since I moved from Brazil. So it had been, 10 plus years, and I felt nostalgic and I brought them home and I wasn't sure what to do with them. They're very the fruit itself, it has a very strong taste, and it's almost like it has a meat like texture, so it takes effort to eat it. So it's not the type of fruit that you would eat like 3-5 a day. So they were just sitting on my counter, and I was at the time, at that moment, trying to replicate this recipe, this Brazilian recipe for my family that was visiting, and I was trying to find something that could mimic crab. And when I looked at the cashew fruit, I thought about the texture, and I was like, oh, you know what, like this has the texture that could mimic crab. So yeah, like I said, it was kind of like right place, right time, and it just happened to work. And then I was like, what else could I do with this?
And voila, a company is formed. Upcycling is becoming more important in this current and future environment of ours, making something good out of something overlooked or underutilized. What was the disposition of the cashew fruit before you came along?
Yeah, so I mean, people in Brazil, where we source the cashew fruits from, and I'd say like the 63% of cashew fruits come from Brazil. Like there's a really big production there, and it all comes actually from one concentrated area. But anyways, in Brazil, people eat the fruit, but not nearly as much compared to how much nuts people eat or how much nuts are exported out of Brazil. So there's like this huge gap in the nut industry. And I think the biggest reason for that is, well, a few things. One, the fruit itself spoils fairly quickly. So within like 24 hours of harvesting, the fruits are actually going bad, and it has a very thin skin to it. So it makes it it's a very hard export fruit. I don't actually believe that you can export cashews, from what I've heard, out of the countries as a fresh fruit. So, I mean, people eat it. Some people, they'll take it home and they'll make it into like a jam, kind of like a guava jam. But for the most part, it was going away. So farmers, they didn't have an incentive to sell their fruit. There wasn't really a value attached to it. So they would either leave it in the farm. Some would transition some of them to like animal feed, but for the most part they would just pick the nut and throw the fruit on the ground.
What? Why the name CAJÚ Love? CAJU Love.
Yeah, so CAJÚ, CAJU stands for cashew fruit in Brazil, and it's honestly what I called the fruit my whole life. So it just resonated. So when I made cashew fruit meat, which is what we call our product, I was like, oh my gosh, it's cashew, and that kept coming up, and the connection with it being from Brazil, the connection with it being the reason why like I picked it in the first place, I felt like had a meaning for me at least, and it was something that I thought it was fun to share through the branding. And then love, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, the ultimate the ultimate goal with the company is to almost like spread the love through food, spread the love through helping people feel good, or give the option for people to eat something that's going to make them feel good. And that's like the energy that I think our brand and our mission and the people on our team like really embody when they're working in the business and trying to bring it to life and bring it to people and make it happen. So yeah, that's kind of where that originated from. CAJÚ Love.
And you, of course, wanted to share the love of your love for cashew. How many ingredients are in your organic good food CAJÚ Love?
One, just as simple as organic fruit. And it's funny because we get that question a lot, and it's on our packaging, it's on our website, but still people will message us and be like, I don't see the ingredient list. what
How
what
how
what are
how
the
easy yeah,
ingredients?
how easy to read versus ingredient list normally. Yeah. Yeah. In our conversations, you often mention that your Cashew love is so versatile. How so?
For a few reasons. It comes unseasoned. So in our mechanical process of um, really, basically cleaning out the fruit and squeezing out all the juices, it makes it so that the cashew fruit meat that you get at your home doesn't have much of a flavor or a smell at all. So it's unseasoned. It's pretty much of like a white canvas. That's how we like to describe it. So depending on what sauces, seasonings you add to it, you could really mimic whatever it is that you're trying to mimic. And you can prepare it in different ways. You can shred it up, you can cut it up, you can mesh it up into, meatballs, burger patties. That's yeah, makes it
I
extremely
I like your
versatile.
description of it being a white canvas, waiting for your food art. In addition to organic cashew love being versatile, it's nutritious. How so?
The highest thing is it's really high in fiber. And I learned after launching the company with talking to nutritionists and dietitians that fiber is the one thing that most people are missing in their diet. A lot of people would, protein is a big topic, but fiber is actually something that a lot of us are deficient in. So high in fiber, antioxidants, magnesiums, vitamins. It's a fruit. It comes from the tree.
You say your cashew love is versatile, nutritious, and sustainable. Talk about that sustainable angle.
So it's considered, since since it's a byproduct from the nut industry and it wasn't being necessarily used. It's considered a byproduct, meaning we have access to this food supply without it requiring us to put any extra pressure on the environment. And by that I mean, like, without needing to use up more soil or exploit more soil or use up more water for irrigation. So that alone makes it sustainable. And then to add on to that, the cashew tree itself, it pretty much grows on sand. It doesn't require too many resources for it to thrive, and it's abundant. And then I'll add one more thing. The cashew fruit, I'd say, is like 3-6 times the size of the cashew nut. So you're actually getting a pretty decent amount of food as a byproduct to a nut that's already circulating all around the world.
So you're using what's already readily available. What
Exactly.
what is the texture again of cashew love?
We like to describe it like shredded chicken. And I would say
Okay.
shredded chicken because, if you compare it to shredded chicken, it's pretty much like got the similar moisture. It's a little bit moist, but it's not overly moist. Like I would say jackfruit meat's a little bit more on like, it's different. It's got like that almost like slimy feel to it, where cashew fruit meat is not. It's a bit drier. So it'll soak up like the sauces and seasonings really well, but similar to a shredded chicken.
You say cashew love because of that is the perfect basis for mock tuna, chicken, pork, crab. How so?
Yeah, for that reason, because since you can really manipulate it to prepare on like chunks or like really shredded pieces, and you could add on your seasonings and your sauces to taste. You can create it into these things. And we say this because we have, and we've tried. And when we launched, we actually sent out a survey and we had our customers say what they were making with it, and these were the main things that they were doing. A lot of people especially like to do the mock tuna because I think nowadays there's a lot of alternatives, but it's harder to find like a mock tuna or a mock crab alternative, especially one that's so clean.
This is the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World, and you're listening to your new good food friend, Alana Lima, organic cashew love, calling in from a beach in Waialua, Hawaii. Don't we all wish we could be with her? Why organic?
We had the option, and we're always going to choose what's best for us and what's best for our clients, and honestly what we would consume. And it was a no-brainer.
Every box of cashew love saves how many cashew fruits from being just thrown away just because there wasn't any imaginative persons such as yourself?
It's every box. It's 200 grams of cashew fruit meat, and that's five whole fruits. So if you think about it, in comparison, it's kind of crazy because you get this whole pot of like mock meat compared to 5 little nuts, and you're like, wow, I can't believe all this food was going to waste. But 5 is the answer.
Thank you. Turning the overlooked and oftentimes simply discarded cashew fruit into a versatile, sustainable food sounds magical. But building a company to do that is not magical, just good old-fashioned hard work. Give us an insider's view of what you had to do.
I think the hardest part of growing a company like this is the fact that you have to build a new supply chain and a new value chain for the food, because you have to give an incentive for everybody that's basically part of this supply chain to be motivated to even want to help you start this brand. So, starting with the farmers, like, why should they give you the fruit instead of just throwing it out? Or why should they add a process to what they're already doing, what's already working for them? So you have to give that value and then create a process of, okay, how are we going to get this from the farm to the consumer? And all of that took about a year. So I think that was like where the hardest job and work was, because we had to do all of that with just, believing that it was something that people were going to want, and then test it in the market and prove our concept. And then, since then, it's a lot of education. It's teaching people about what cashew fruit is, what cashew fruit meat is, and how it's good for you, and how it's now available, and getting the word out there, I think is, part of our work. And thank you for helping me do this with the show.
There may be someone in our audience who has an entrepreneurial dream of their own. Since you had one, are one, and fulfilled it, what's a tip, hint, or suggestion you have that might help the next dreamer to be successful quickly?
Yeah. So I think I'll quickly say this. You don't need to be qualified in any way to be a founder or to start a business. You just have to have an idea and passion, and you'll figure it out. All of us, like, we can be resourceful. So just start asking the right questions and start finding the first steps, and trust that you'll be able to make it happen if you have the drive.
Thanks for being our example. We've just been given the sign by our producer that we're almost out of time. So at the last remaining moments, out of all the delish recipes on your CAJÚ Love website, or maybe a special one you created for a party that hasn't been published yet, what's your fave?
That's a hard one, but I would say honestly the go-to is the barbecue burger. and it's the easiest one, and I think it's the go-to because exactly when there's a party, an event, people are like, let's make that.
Well, thank you so much, Alana, for the show today, and for having the imagination, creativity, and drive to bring a whole new, healthy, nutritious, organic, good food forward for our benefit. Much success to you, Alana, and CAJÚ Love.
Oh, I had fun talking to you.
So did I. Go to CAJULove.com, CAJU love.com, and see Alana, some mouthwatering photography, and an array of delish recipes. And of course, you can always buy Alana's CAJÚ Love right then and there and get to cooking. To help her new company and your good health, stand in the aisle of your favorite grocery store and ask loudly, hey, where's my CAJÚ Love? Show me some. That's CAJULove.com. Again, that's CAJU love.com. Does the Change of Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World bring you the most interesting guests, or what? Alana Lima, who looked out her window, saw cashew fruit, and started a whole new good food company around it, Organic CAJÚ Love. Don't ever miss an episode of the Change of Food, Change Your Life show. You'll be sorry, and you won't be as smart and healthy as you could be. Thank you again, Alana.
Have a beautiful day.
I think we all felt your CAJÚ love today. You've been listening to Alana Lima, creating something good out of something overlooked by others. Cashew fruit turned into her versatile organic CAJÚ Love. This is the Change of Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio World. In the weeks following, sometimes you'll spend the full half hour with me, your good food guide, other times with live studio guests and calling guests, as Alana did today. Coming up, more organic good food stars in their stories, coffee creamers, and a blueberry farmer. And yes, of course, we're still waiting for her, our internationally acclaimed designer darling, Nina Morgan-Jones, when she returns from London to Hollywood. She's getting close to us in the south of France while collaborating with an Italian designer. Organic good food has its glam. Check out Nina's rompboutique.com. Yeah, that's rompboutique.com. She sent me a note from London about a new collection with pictures. Romp and roll, baby. And as Nina says, stay wild and organic. In the meantime, feel free to call me, your good food guide, Dennis, at 425-774-8971, 425-774-8971, or email changeyourfood@hotmail.com, changeyourfood@hotmail.com. You can get yourself a copy of the songs you've heard today, Good Living, and As We Go Out, Go O, and our Good Living compilation CD album at changeyourfoodchangeyourlife.com, changeyourfoodchangeyourlife.com. There's 16 tracks on the CD, 16 songs that celebrate the joy organic good food brings to life: jazz, pop, rap, gospel, blues. You can exercise to it, dance to it, sing to it, shop to it, barbecue to it, eat to it, drink to it, learn to it, lift up your day to it, be inspired by it. It is many diverse voices coming together, but with one message. Our Change Your Food, Change Your Life artist ambassadors hope that one of their songs catches your ear and makes that healthful difference in your life. You've been listening to Dennis Weaver, good food guide and host of the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show, along with Alana Lima, co-founder, inventor, calling in from a beach in Waialua, Hawaii, bringing you her Cashew love. And be sure to get yourself the hot new Rainier Avenue Radio World app so you can take Alana and me with you. It's free, videos, live broadcasts, and all the radio shows wherever you are. Change your food, change your life. Begin living the organic good food life, and the rest of your life just may be the best of your life. You'll have no anxiety. You'll feel better than when you began. You'll probably look better, have more energy, and be a few pounds lighter. Well, then why not change your food, change your life forever? Honor yourself by making 100% organic good food choices. So we wish each and every one of you in the audience our very, very best, and that you may find your good health and happiness as we have. Thank you for listening. O's up to your health.
I'm gonna